you so much. My name is Eli Mabanza. I'm from Congo. I'm going to play Are You Listening? Right? I'm going to play Are You Listening? Which means Are You Listening in English? Sometimes we meet people in our lives and we think sometimes, oh, we are going to stay for until the end. But life have his own plan. Are you listening? I'm afraid of a knife in my heart, not sleeping when it's dark. It's very long story with so many characters who have come and gone. Are you listening? Are you listening? Life can be beautiful and life can be tragic, but still the sun rises at the sunset. Oh, life can be beautiful and life can be tragic, but still the sun rises at the sunset. You wanna sing with us? You wanna sing? It's easy, like peasy. Oh, sounds good. Motema mo baby, Miami so matanguier ponayo. Ils sont tellement nombreux, ils viennent dans ma vie, disparaissent comme un rêve. Da, 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 da. Oui, da, 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 da. Oui, da, da, da. Let's try again. You have a beautiful voice. Thank you. Tragic, but still sun rises at the sunset. Oh, life can be beautiful and life can be tragic, but still the sun rises at the sunset. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie Mambaza. Annie Stafford and Valerie Joy Fiddmont. Good morning, Heart and Soul. Happy New Year. I know some folks are thinking we're a weekend, Rev, but this is our first Sunday. This is our first Sunday of the new year. So happy New Year. What a blessing for us to, what a blessing for me, for us to be together. Thank you. And to begin, because Ellie, I've been wanting to have you here for a while. And so it's perfect that you would launch our new year. Thank you so very much. Thank you. So look, this is the year 2024 where, here's my challenge. We prove that this stuff works. Because I feel like we've been, kind of in the pool, on the side, kind of kicking. Some of y'all just been lounging in the chairs with the cocktails and such. I see you. I'm not mad at you. I see you. But this is the year you get in the deep, we get in the deep end of the pool. This is the year. So go ahead, get your little drag if you need a little hair covering, because I know my people. So if we need to do the hair or whatever we need to do, a little cover up, I understand. Whatever is required, this is notice, we're going in the deep end. This is the deep end. It's about changing so many things. And here's the thing that I know for sure, is that we can't lose with the stuff we use. This I know for sure. But we have to prove it. It's not like this is not the year where we hear someone else's testimony and that is sufficient. We will hear others' testimonies, and that's to be our inspiration. That's seeds being planted in our garden. We're going to be using this seed metaphor a lot, so get used to it. Get prepared, because your mind, our mind period, is the soil. So it's more than just planting the seed of affirmations in our meditations and our spiritual practice. It will require that we first prepare the soil so that we get our mind. Would you understand if I said you got to get your mind right? You're going to have to get it right, attuned to whatever it is you intend to plant, because that is your plan for the year, your objective for the year. And I'm not pretending that it won't shift during the year, but this is the year that you got to come with something. You can't just hang out in a year. Kind of let's just see what happens. This ain't that. This is instead where we are consciously, well, let me just see how many of y'all are game. Am I just out here on my own? Okay. All right, I need to check, because if not, I just do this at home. Before we open the service, our praise groove team gets us in the groove of what's happening. And the song that we were working with this morning is, Ain't No Stopping Us Now. So it would be worthwhile for anybody who's willing to first of all, we're going to be doing our playlist for this year. You see, part of planting the seed is really getting prepared. What does it require? Do you need a playlist? You need a soundtrack? If that's part of how you get down, then you need to get down. If that's what's required, if that helps you get to where you're going, then I need you to put your playlist together. And I need you to play your playlist. Sometimes we do part of it. We like, Rev, I got the playlist. I'm like, when did you play it? You didn't say nothing about playing the playlist. Well, today I'm saying that it's the whole thing. We're going to do all the parts. Being in the deep end of the pool is the metaphor for doing the whole dang thing. Yeah? Because what? Ain't no stopping us now. And we just at the get ready part, right? All right, so let's look at this, because heart and soul is truly, in my mind, we are at the get ready part. And the get ready part, the metaphor I use is that if you're going to jump double dutch, you don't just get in. You're in the get ready, yes? It's where you adjust your rhythm to what's going to happen next. You know that you have to change from however you are now to a new rhythm. To get into it. This is where I sense we are now. We're at this part where we have a vision, but we got to get ready, because it's a for real vision. It's no longer just a thought or a passing idea. We've had a lot of that. We've called them New Year's resolutions. Some we've even called goals, and we did nothing more than say something about it. Or sometimes we didn't even say anything, we just thought about it. This is not that year. This is the year where we really launch it, which means whatever it is, we got to know what it is. Yes? But the Temptations left us with that, get ready. Get ready. That could be on somebody's playlist because we are what? In the get ready. So look, here's from whence we've come. We have been on an adventure in faith. We're acknowledging that life is an adventure in faith. And 2023 was about trusting divine guidance. And if you did that work, you are already more prepared. You're already kind of in the groove of something else can happen, and I don't have to know what it is. I can be available to divine guidance. I can be present, which means I have done my preparation. You know, some of our mamas used to say, how does it go? That there you go. Say it louder. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's right. That's right. I don't know in your household, but sometimes some of us would procrastinate about the required chores. I didn't say it happened in mine. I'm just doing a general awareness here, y'all. So you procrastinate about the required chores, and then somebody calls and invites you to go somewhere. And you know right now you can't go because you haven't done what's required. Now, you had the time to do what was required. I'm trying to tell you, this ain't about your chores. Well, it kind of is in a way. It kind of is. It's about us doing and being about doing what's required in order for us to do what we want to do. Have what we want to have, go where we want to go, the way we want to go, right? This is the preparation for that. Why? Because this time next year, I'm wanting to look at different faces, not different people, but different faces. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm wanting the room to be so bright with the inner light, with the knowing, with the absolute knowing that not only are we using the principles, but we have proof that it works. That there's a room full of folks with a testimony about how this year progressed for them. Yes. Okay, I'm counting on y'all. I am counting on y'all. So look, I want to start us off with a oldies but goodies, so to speak, from last year, because Dr. Dan, in our guidance for a spiritual journey, which was our read for the year, so many of us were reading it daily or catching up when we could. However we did it, we were focused on this amazing work. So for January 1st, this is what Dr. Dan said. Dr. Daniel Morgan, who is the author, he says, this brother, I fell in love with him again last year through the readings, yes? He says, we've got to launch out of the deep. He said we must expand the borders of our tents. We've got to recognize at some point or another that in order to move forward on balance, we have to bring our whole weight with us. And that whole weight comes with us only through being born anew. Being born anew is being and not becoming. Where my other mic at? The drop mic one. Yes. Yes, because he's calling us into a shift in awareness. He's saying, I know you've been becoming that for the past how long? You don't have to say it out loud. You know what I mean, though, right? Just count it off in your head. You know how long you've been becoming that. How long you've been planning on having it be different. How long you getting ready to have it be different. Well, this is the moment. Today's the day, this is the moment where you declare, I am being that. Now, don't let that wear you out, because I know that by declaring it, You are not experiencing it yet. Your bank account, the bank don't know nothing about your declaration. It still is true according to what you do with that. The bank's going to get the notice when the bank gets the notice. You have work to do, though. I'm not. Yes, you have work to do. You may need to look at the statement maybe in a different. I'm getting ahead of myself. Look at here. Look at here. Look at here. So now Dr. Dan is talking in the same piece, and I'm just excerpting this. He says, he's talking about a new attitude. He says, heaven is a state of mind. And new attitude could be on a playlist, I'm just saying. He's saying heaven is a state of mind, and we determine our entrance and our presence there based purely, meaning solely. The only criteria is whether we can accept our help, our health, our hope, and our joy. Whether the degree of your receptivity. Look. Part of, on some level, I'm a little distracted because one, I'm up here with a little menthol, a little biofreeze patch on, and I'm afraid that it's showing sometime when I move. So, that's a distraction. I mean, looking at the little white thing, wondering what the little white thing is the biofreeze patch. Whew. And the other distraction is because I tend to be kind of animated. And my shoulder is restricting that. And so here's, when I read this, what is true for me right now is that I have favored this shoulder since I was in high school. Now, that wasn't that long ago. But it was long ago that it serves as a good example right now. So put your little calculators away. And so the way that I've dealt with it is to favor it, is to add every year or so to the list of what I can't do. And this morning, it was about choosing what could I wear because how could I get in it? And this is a metaphor. I mean, it's my real, but it's your metaphor. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not just up here talking about, this is a metaphor for whatever is up. Come on, I need you to do the work. Whew. So I started having acupuncture very specifically. In my regular appointment, I said, you know what, let's work on this shoulder. This is last fall. And so regularly we worked on the shoulder, and Lord, the improvement. Oh, I was just like, oh my goodness. Well, then I got a little beside myself, and I decided I could do one of the physical therapy exercises that I had not been able to really do in years past. So I did it. Well, yeah. So somebody already knows that was kind of the signal. No, you can't. You're not ready for that. So remember, it's the metaphor, because sometimes something gets good to us and we decide, well, I'm not just going to run around the lake, I'm going to run the marathon. I'm just going to start training for the Olympics. Now, we haven't gotten around the lake yet, but we know our inner self is Olympic material. And so we getting ready to we already filling out the app for the Olympics. Well, this is me, and I got this arm up on the wall, and I'm like, yeah. Well, the next day, my arm said we wasn't ready for none of that. None of that. And that's often what happens to us. We know that so anyhow, y'all already know. I see your heads nodding. So look, in my case, this set me back. But what I thought about, because I'd been reading this, I thought, you know what? I've always accepted this. I've always accepted that this means I can't. And I thought, well, what if it doesn't? For the first time, I didn't decide, well, you can't just take that off your list to do forever. Instead, I thought, because this little acupuncture shift has me inspired. But I'm no longer crazy. So now I'm in my right mind, prodigal daughter kind of experience happening here. I've come to myself and realized that there's something else. There's something awaiting me, but I'm going to have to pace myself. So I thought, well, you know what? What did Dr. Dan say? We can accept our help, our health, our hope, and our joy. And I thought, you know what? Let me partner, because I got health care. Well, no, I have a health plan that includes some appointments. So I thought, and there's, I'm differentiating between care and, so I thought, let me get a consult. And I have a good relationship with my GP. Let me get a consult around this. So I'm working on something else. But you see, if this had not happened for me, I would have it'd been same old, same old. I would have been convinced. Now I'm looking forward to what else is possible. What level of physical therapy, if that's indicated, or if there's a laparoscopic procedure that could be held. I don't know. I am open to living my life without my right shoulder running it. So, see, I don't know in your life. What is up for you that's been running your life on some level? That today could be the day where you take your power back. Where you decide that you have dominion in your life and that something else can happen for you. So for 2024, we are still on an adventure in faith. However, our theme for this year is manifest more in 24. This stuff works. And I want you to continue to remind yourself that this stuff works. Now, you'll only know for sure if you work it. You can affirm it for as long as you want. It'll be true for those who work it. So it's a truism. It's an accurate affirmation. It will only become your testimony if you work it. Sitting next to folks who are working it, that ain't it. You're going to have to work it yourself. Does that make sense? Because I know sometimes proximity feels like it's because, energetically, but I'm just going to, you're going to have to work it. You're going to have to work it. Something's going to splash on you. For sure, and that's going to feel better than not having it splash on you. But you're going to have to work it. There's just no getting around that. So in our new read, our 2024 read, which is 365 days for richer living. What if you embrace that not as a title, but as an intention? What? What? What if you embraced it as an intention? Don't care about who picked the title and all that. What if it was your intention? 365 days, possibly minus 7. I'm just saying, let's keep it real. Days for richer living. Yes. I'd say as many days as you can possibly count out and be attentive to it, whatever that number is going to mean that January 1st of 2025, I just see us all stepping high. We all going to need new boots. New boots for the high stepping. Yes? For the new year. So look, in our read for this year, 2024, for today, I just want to leave you with the affirmation, pardon me. It says, today I stand on the, you know what? If it's up there, y'all okay with us reciting it together? Let's do it. Today I stand on the mountaintop of my soul, and I cause my spiritual vision to encompass more. We have to pause right now, don't we? We have to take this part in, right? Because there's some key words in here. One, I stand. I stand on the mountaintop of my own volition, through my own power and willingness and availability, the mountaintop of my soul. And I cause, y'all get that? I cause my spiritual vision. One, you got to have a spiritual vision in order to cause a spiritual vision. So I cause my spiritual vision, what? To expand, to encompass more. It is more in 24. Not because you greedy, it's because we're not living full, vivacious lives. So this is not greed about the health and wellness that we are determined to expand. See, I'm declaring I'm encompassing more health and well-being. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I shall push out the horizons of my previous experiences in order that I may have more room. What? Because if I'm opening to more, I'm going to require more room. Yes? In my mind, in my heart, in my universe. Yes? Oh, come on now. Let's continue. My soul shall look out and see that all is well. Now, this could be a brand new idea. This could be a brand new idea because for some, our looking out, we tend to see worst case scenario. We went to bed listening to the news. We wake up afraid. So our looking out may have to shift entirely. We may have to have on new lenses, whether they are physical or whether we simply shift them from within. It is a perspective that then unfolds to a knowing. Yes? All right, so let's do that one again. My soul shall look out and see that all is well. I am filled with peace, with joy, and with contentment. Let's be clear about the order of things here. First, I looked out, didn't I? My soul looked out and saw that all is well. So once I did that, I am filled with peace, with joy, and with contentment. I'm wanting us to order this really clearly because sometimes we get the order twisted. We're wanting to be filled with peace and joy and contentment. Then we go look out and see it different. Well, of course, that's true. It's just that we got the cart before the horse. So once we begin to see a world that is conducive, a world where our vision can live. See, some of us are tight about that. We don't even see a universe where we can be who we are. And we're wanting the universe to shift, then we're going to see who we are. And that would be great if it worked like that, but I've been here a while and it ain't worked like that since I've been here. This is probably the year, but just in case it isn't, let's get on it and shift it within us first. Because that's how I think it works. It may or may not, but just for drill. Y'all know just for drill. Just for drill. We're going to try it just for drill. We're not invested. We're not going, just for drill. Just because Rev just went on and on about it, so I'm just going to try it like this because maybe she'll hush. Probably not, but just for drill, we'll see what we can do with this, yes? All right, so can we do something? Because I don't have any idea. Look over your right shoulder. Thank you. All right. So Look at here. Ernest, yes or no? Yes, this is important. As we begin this process this time, as we begin the process this time, our process of believing, Ernest Holmes offers us this. He says, universal principles, excuse me, are never respecters of persons. The universe has no favorites. So I'm saying this so we can just clear the decks of the BS, the belief systems that do not support us moving forward. Yeah? Because sometimes we make up that so-and-so got to do it because of something, and it's usually nothing favorable. Let me just peep y'all to this. Usually our reasons for others having abundance or health or whatever it is we desire that they have and we perceive that we don't, we usually are judging them. And this is just to nip all that in the bud. To simply say, the principle is no respecter of persons. If you just do what you need to do, you will have the experience that is ideal for you. Yeah? And then Ernest Holmes quotes Revelations 22 and 17, and let the one that is athirst. The one who's hungry, the one who has such a strong desire. Let them, I'm going to say let them come to the front of the class. You know what I mean? The one who's going to do the homework. Let the one who's really going to read. The one who's going to journal, the one who's going to meditate, the one who's going to pray and get prayer. Let that one come. The one who really wants something. And I love all y'all, but the rest need to get to the back. So you're out of the way of the people who are really getting it on. I mean, no offense. We love you, but could just kind of give passage to the ones who are trying to get up front to do the work, to be engaged in the process. And I'm not talking about, again, this is a metaphor. I'm not expecting anybody to get up and move to the front row right here, although there is a whole front row right here, but that's not what I'm talking about. This is metaphorical. It has no physical place in the universe. Let me get over here where there's some people on the front. Just saying that it's an idea. It's an energetic idea. If y'all have been places where you're clear that person intended to get up in there. Yeah, they're the ones who on time. Number one. I'm just saying. I don't mean no harm. I'm just saying. Woo-wee. Okay, look at here. Okay. I just want to establish that I'm going to use Ernest Holmes in this. He says it appears from experience, his, mine, everybody who is engaged in this, that the only way for the individual to constructively use the creativity of this invisible but everywhere present mind is by means of thought, faith, and conviction. And what? Nothing else. Now, you know what? Here's the thing. For some, that's good news. They're like, yes, because that means I have dominion. But for somebody else, they're like, oh, shoot. That means I don't have, it's a Martha and the Vandellas moment. I don't have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Because it's about me. See, some of us, come on now, no names. Some of us want it to be about something else because it gives us cover. If it's about politics, if it's about, name whatever it is, classism, sex, whatever it is, if you can make it about an ism, then I'm held harmless. I don't have my heart's desire because of them. But now, Rev, you come in here making it be about me. And I'm saying prove me wrong. If it ain't about you, prove it. because I think it's about us. There's something in me that believes that my life has everything to do with me. Everything to do with what I'm thinking about me and who I am and how I am and what's possible and what isn't possible. And I mean, if you had any idea how much this impacted my morning, you know, and just what is it that we're giving our attention to? I'm just saying, y'all. Okay, so look. If we're using, and I say we do, let's use 2024 to prove this stuff works. Wayne Dyer says it this way. He says, peace is the result of training your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. Now, I believe that this notion of training your mind, I walk the lake and we see all manner of dog training and non-dog training. But there's something about a well-trained dog. Come on now. A well-trained dog. Sometimes the owner doesn't even have to raise their voice. Just a... It all stops. You see what I'm saying? The untrained one is humping legs and just, you know, it's just carrying on. It don't matter how you call them or whatever. They just have it. I'll be over there when I'm done. But the trained, and what if we use this as a metaphor for our minds, where we set our intention, and then when we see it veering off, and your mind is like, okay, where I'm supposed to be. You're like, I need you over here. I need you right over here, knowing this. It's like, all right, here I am. But if we don't train it, we start riding with the mind just gone. It's off thinking all manner of things, creating all kind of turmoil and chaos, yes? But instead, come on now, because we're training our minds. What is it? Retrain your mind, change your thinking to your life. That ought to be an F. Can somebody help it preach out? Oh, you did it already. See, I didn't even have to confess that, did I? Okay. Y'all wouldn't have even have known. Thank you, Chi-Chi. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Change your thinking. Why? Because in so doing, you transform your life. So that's the training we're doing. We're beginning this now every week. Should you choose? Now, you know, I'm already scared some folks, I know. Because what I'm saying in my own way is you got work to do. And that will be enough for some folks not to come back. What we doing, work? This year? The whole year? But I feel some of y'all are up for it. Some of y'all are like right on time. Thank you. Finally. Finally. Yes. Okay? So we're using 2024 to prove. This is in your own independent laboratory. In your own independent metaphorical lab. We're each doing our work to prove this stuff works. So look, I start thinking about, so first of all, there's an imaginal act of calling forth whatever it is, our new life, health and well-being, prosperity, whatever it is. Yes? Okay, all right. Calling forth whatever it is, it's an imaginal act. It begins in mind first. So what I thought about is well, how do I picture that? And then I thought, well, I remembered, what was the movie with Michael Douglas and Demi Moore, Disclosure, I think it was. Yes, Disclosure. And part of it was this virtual reality where they would step into like I'm out here on my own. Never mind. It's whatever they did. But it reminded me of the power of a metaphor of virtual reality, because it's imaginal. So what we're really going to build our chops around is imagining. Some of us, we can hear on the news or in the streets, we can hear about something having happened, and we then are masters at imagining it. Now, we haven't seen it. There's no video of it, but in our minds, we imagine it. I'm saying this is proof that we have imaginal skills. We just not using them for nothing that gets us anything good. So the shift here is to begin to use our imagination to sculpt and form a new reality. We must see it in mind first, though. Yeah? Ooh, this is some good stuff right here. Just some good stuff. Look, the idea here is that, and this is not necessarily, I messed with this a little bit. This is not necessarily in the proper order for everybody, but it's to take dominion, to get that it's about you. And you the one. We're not waiting for nobody to call you or write to you, or you to call somebody, or you to write. This is for you, you and you. This is you and you. You are responsible for retraining your mind. Oh, Lord. Change your thinking and your feelings. What you think about and how you feel about what you think about. This is essential. This is just the beginning. Remember, we're in the get ready. So I'm working with you to prepare the soil to receive what's coming. Okay, this ain't the whole thing. It's just, it ain't the enchilada. This is some tortillas and some sauce. So the invitation is tap into your heart's desire. You got to know, what is your heart's desire? What is that? Tap into your heart's desire and use your imagination to create your dream. You're beginning to get a sense of, begin to picture that. Begin to in-picture it. Now, in order to in-picture it, for some folks, that means you want to out-picture it. So you'll have your vision board. You see what I'm saying? So you may not be able to get a clear picture right away. So do your vision board. What is it? Is it a house, a home, a car, some money? It's health and well-being. So for me, I could picture me, doing more with this arm. So that would be on the vision board, for example. But this notion of knowing what your heart's desire is I'm going to draw from Mark 10. And in Mark 10, there's the story of the master teacher, Yeshua, who the world ultimately came to call Jesus, who is leaving Jericho. And there are crowds around him. And within the crowd is a blind man who's sitting on the side of the road and begging, because he heard specifically that Yeshua the Nazarene would be there. And so he began to cry out. He's howling here, essentially, from the curb. Son of David, have mercy on me. And then the people in the crowd were like, shut up. Stop that. Cut all that out. You know how we are. When we see somebody taking dominion, we're not happy about it typically. Because one of our first judgments is, I wouldn't have done that. And so we're trying to reel them in to be like we feel like we have to be. I'm just saying here. Okay, so look. So they're wearing him out about that. And then the blind man, this is the way Scripture words it, but that blind man threw off his garment and arose. And it says that the master teacher heard him, and so he called to him. And so he went to him. And the master teacher says this, and I need you to remember this. What do you want me to do for you? For all this crying out, all the beseeching prayers that we'd prayed by now. What is it that you want? Unfortunately, in my years in group facilitation and coaching, too few people know the answer to that question. Too few people can rise up and speak clearly about that. Most often, they would start with what they don't want, because that's a place of absolute clarity, and often not get beyond that, even with coaching, because they have spent decades on what they don't want, reinforcing it so when the question comes, it's a blank slate. And even with coaching, they cannot get to what the master teacher said, I hear you, what you want. What you want. That's the question of the day. What you want. What is it you're praying for? What is it that your heart is yearning for? What is it that you won't have peace until you have this? Until you experience this, until you can live in this way, until you know this and you know that you know that you know. What is it? It troubled me when I realized that with my shoulder, that I wasn't using none of the principles. I was simply saying, oh, I won't be able to do that. I can't do that. And there are one of the hardest things for me is to make a bed with a fitted sheet because it requires a lift and a bit of a turn. And so my sister comes to help me change linen. There's a part, see, I can see that. I can see that as a heart's desire, that I can make up my own dang bed. That I can do the things that y'all take for granted. Y'all don't call nobody to come help make up the bed or to reach up on the plane to get up to the whatever. Oh, Lord. And I'm claiming my life back. Now, it almost doesn't matter what happens with the shoulder because you can see what's been going on in my mind. I need y'all to pay attention. See, it really doesn't matter. I feel like I heard Dr. Martin Luther King, it don't matter. Because I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the truth that it's at the level of mind activity. I see what's really happening here. That it's not what I thought it was. That it's something else. And this something else is something that I have dominion around. Okay, so look, I'm getting here because I don't have no idea. Is anybody? Okay, I know you don't know either. All right, so look. Look, typically, here's the thing that's happening. Typically, you know, I let it unfold, but there is a clock, there's a timer that gives me a clue. So at some point, I look up and just go, okay, that's it. That's all I can do because the time is up. But the timer wasn't set, so I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. So just stop me. Now, you stopping me now? Oh, shoot. No. So we're going to have a service this afternoon. No, we're not. Shoot. Okay. Anthony Hopkins? We can, but wait, let me set, huh? Okay, let me finish this part right here. Okay, look. So here's what I want to offer you this little bit to empower, to enhance our sense of dominion, which is directly related to our sense of deservability. See, there are some pieces. I'm kind of, this is me kind of, like doing where somebody came in with a video camera and showed the buffet, but you're not going to get to eat at the buffet yet. But you just get to see what's on the buffet. This is that moment. This is the moment where y'all just see what's on the buffet. So look, deservability. I have excerpted the deservability prayer that we did some time ago. So look, let's do this together. I am deserving. I deserve all good. Not some, not a little bit, but all good. I now move past all negative, restricting thoughts. Now, we said that, and that sounded really easy. It just kind of rolled off our tongue. It is not. This idea of moving past, what did it say? All negative, restricting thoughts. We're going to have to work with this. And here's Anthony Hopkins. I'm going to go sit down. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go sit down. But I'm going to play this little thing, and when it's off, then we're going to do the next thing. Right? Okay. Oh, Lord. And then...
Believe it, believe it, believe it, even if you don't believe. Play the game of belief. Act as if you believe. That is power. That is sheer power. And it will happen, believe you me. An old fool like me. It's worked in my life, it will work in yours. So never give up. Believe, believe, believe.
It's me again. Thank you. We are going to play in Kango. Kango was mean Kango in Larry. In English was mean the tribe. I think we are a tribe. But this song talk about Israel. But I think Israel, it's everywhere.
Say that.
Sometimes we don't follow the leader. We want to be our own leader. And then when we are in between the wall, we don't have anywhere to go. We're like, I think it was right for me to have someone can guide me. But it's really important in our life if we have someone can guide us. It's like we are in a field, you are watching someone is playing soccer or whatever sport, any support. It's like, if it was me, you have a lot of way to see how, I can do this, but when you are inside, you can't do anything. You can do something, yeah, but when you have someone can guide you, say, yeah, you can do this. We call that in French un entraîneur. Tu dois avoir un entraîneur. Someone can coach you, yeah. Kango. Kanguo ni bareni wo utulekele mpungu katele bisambu byeto bya wakana twenjeno tata katele bisambu byeto bya turiri twenjeno mfumu katele aera bwile bwetu dirila mingi tu mwenye mingi tu wiri nuniza zimbala rakata umi wanguka tulekele mpungu katele bisambu byeto bya wakane tukweno tata katele bijilu byeto bya turidi twenjeno tata katele areja bwile bwetu didila mingi tu mwenye mingi tu widi inuza zimbala rarata bozi wanguka kwikile katele katele mbumi wanguka wikile katele mbumi wanguka wikile katele mbumi wanguka. Thank you.